Hello, hello, good morning, good afternoon, good evening. Depending on where you're watching me from, I'm so grateful to have you here today. My name is Kufre Ian, and like I said, I'm glad to have you. We had some sessions some days back, and I promised I was going to come back. So today we're going to be exploring something really exciting, the Microsoft Admin Center. Like I said the last time, that you think of your Microsoft Admin Center as your company's control room, the place where everything comes together. So if you've ever sat on the driver's seat and then you're seeing your dashboard, you will see that while you're moving on your journey, you have control over your journey because you're seeing everything that happens on the dashboard. Well, the admin center works the same way. It's your dashboard for managing your users, for managing your applications, for managing your security, and lots that has to do with your company. So here's what we'll do today. We'll take it step by step. We'll walk through each section of the admin center or each section of the admin center menu one by one. We'll explain in simple and really clear languages. I want to promise you I'm not going to rush. I'm not going to put you under pressure, but I want you to know that it's all about helping you feel more confident even when you're not using it. Most importantly, I want you to know that this session is really interactive. So feel free to ask your questions, feel free to drop your comments, or you share your own tips and experiences. Like I said, it's a learning journey which we're doing together. And so what you put here will also make this session really rich for us. But I promise at the end of this session, you'll have a clear picture of what's possible in Microsoft Admin Center and how we can make it work really smoother and secure. I like to share my screen so you will see what I will be talking about. Let's just give me a bit. Okay, I hope you can see my screen. So first of all, we have the admin center sitting in front of us. Right, you can see that it's telling me good evening, Kufre, Ian, because of my time zone. It's actually evening from here. That's why I say good morning, good afternoon, good evening, depending on the time zone you're watching me from. The last time when we had the session, we talked about creating of users, which we had created users and we saw how to create the users. And so today we'll be talking about each of the menu in Microsoft Admin Center, just like I had promised. I'd like to close some of these so it doesn't look really cumbersome to you. All right, so let's start first with the users. We have made use of the users already. I'll try to run some parts really fast because they are very straightforward things, but there are parts where I could just delve a little bit in. Now, in the users, we have active users, we have contacts, we have guest users, we have deleted users. Active users are these points where you manage employee accounts by creating policies, creating profiles, you assign licenses, you reset passwords, and you set up mailboxes on OneDrive, just like we did the last time. That's done in the admin center. We have the contact. The contact is where you add external contacts to your company's address book for easy communication via email. For instance, you have someone from another company who you need to have their email so that anytime you have to communicate with them, you're just picking the email directly from your contacts. That's what happens with the contacts. We have the guest users. The guest users are external collaborators. These people can join your team, but they have limited access. They don't need full licenses to join your team. So these are people we call guest users. We have deleted users too. Deleted users are accounts that have been deleted from the admin center or from your account. But note that these accounts can be restored within 30 days. When they are restored, their emails and their data are all intact. It does not also mean that you cannot delete them before 30 days. That's a choice. But as long as the account has been deleted and nothing else has been done, it's going to stay on your tenant for 30 days and can be deleted after 30 days. I'll move to the next thing, which are teams and groups. I'll put it up. Teams and groups. Now, in the teams and groups, we have active teams and groups, we have policies, we have deleted groups, we have shared mailboxes. I'll take a little time at this point. It won't be too long, but I'll take a little time now. We have this is where you manage various groups, including Microsoft 365 groups, teams, security groups, and the solution list easily in one place. Now, we have group policies. I'll take a little time at this point. In group policies, you apply naming policies to enforce prefixes and block inappropriate words, and expiration policies to remove unused groups. Now, let me explain what this means. What are these group policies? I want you to think of group policies like rules for your company's own teams and groups, the way they behave. Just like school rules for uniforms or office rules for email signatures. I want you to know that there are two main types of policies that you can apply. The first kind of policy is called the naming policy. This naming policy helps to keep your group names clean, organized, and professional. I'm going to still break it down. This is what it does. It adds prefix or suffix to group names automatically. It blocks inappropriate or confusing words that are being used. I'm still going to break it down. Let me put an example of what I'm talking about. Let's say that your company wants all teams to start with Kumasoft. If someone tries to create a group called Sales, the system will rename the Kumasoft to Kumasoft Sales automatically. That's what I'm talking about policy. So also, if someone tries to name a group, maybe like Crazy Gang or Bad Boys, and those words are blocked in the policy, the system will stop them from creating those kind of names. There's also expiration policy. Expiration policy helps to clean up old and unused groups. This is what it does. Automatically, it will delete groups that haven't been used for a while. But before it does, it sends a reminder to group owners before deletion. Okay, imagine that a project group called Project Phonics that hasn't been used for about 6 months. The system will automatically send a message to the group owner, hey, this group hasn't been used. Do you still need it? If the owner doesn't respond, the group will automatically be deleted. This helps to keep your system tidy and keeping it clean. These are kind of things that policies can do. So if the owner doesn't respond, it will delete. The question is, why does this really matter? It keeps your Microsoft 365 environment organized and professional. It prevents confusion from messy or duplicate names. That's what policies really do. It saves space. It reduces them from clustering, then it removes unused groups. It also helps IT admins to stay in control without manually having to check for every time you're checking for groups. Now, there are deleted groups too. And for every time a group is deleted, you're going to find them in the deleted group. Your teams, whenever they are deleted, you're going to find them in the deleted group section. I talked about mail section as shared mailboxes in the last time when I spoke that shared mailboxes allow multiple users to read and then reply from a common address. For instance, if there's a department called sales, if someone is sending a customer is sending a mail to the sales department, everybody in the sales department can see, and the one person can reply for the sales department. Everybody does not necessarily have to reply to the sales department. The next thing we have on the list is the role. We have the role assignment, we have the administrative unit. I'm going to take a little time at this point too, because I need you to understand what we mean by role assignment and administrative role. Now, in the role assignment, this is where you assign admin rights. And these rights are based on specific responsibilities. This is because you have to enhance security. You also have to enhance efficiency. Now, let me put another example. Imagine that your office has different keys for different rooms. I want to know that it's not everybody that needs that master key. We all know that. You just need the key to the room where you work in. So role-based admin rights work that same way for Microsoft 365. So what it does is that it lets you give specific admin powers to people based on their role. So they can only do what they will do when they have to do it. Let me put up another example. Let's say that you have 3 staff members in the company. First, let me use Mercy is the HR, Fun is in finance, and Oberon one is of the IT department. Now, Mercy is of the HR. Mercy needs just to reset passwords and update employees info. So you give Mercy the user administrative role. Fund is of the finance. Fund only needs to view billings and then download invoices. You give Fund billing administrator role. Ubon one is of the IT department and needs to manage devices and troubleshoot issues. You give her the help desk administrator role. So this is what we're talking about when you're talking about the role assignment. Now, I'm going to be moving to the administrative units. What is this administrative unit? Okay, really, units let you subdivide the organization into any unit that you want. So it limits admin rights to specific departments or locations to ensure focused management and security. Think of administrative unit as dividing your company into many offices or departments, each with its own manager. Now, there are principles of least privilege. Users receive only what is necessary for them. With this, it reduces security risk and unauthorized action. What does it do? It lets you give limited admin powers to people so they can only manage their own department or their location, not the whole department. So that's what I'm talking about, least privilege. Now, let's say your company has offices in Lagos, he has in Akwa Ibom, he has in Abuja. I'm still breaking the units. You want the IT staff in Akwa Ibom to manage only Akwa Ibom users, not Lagos or Abuja. So you create an administrative unit to the Akwa Ibom IT person to assign only IT person as their name, not for that unit. And if you know that at this point, they can reset passwords, they can add users, they can manage settings, but this can only be done to the Akwa Ibom center. So users receive access only to what is necessary. So it reduces, like I said, reduces security risk and unauthorized action. This is a very safe rule. And then we say, for me, I say, give people only the access they need and nothing more. So what this does is that it prevents mistakes, it prevents accidents, or even security breaches to limited access. So this matters because let me bring it home that administrative units divide control by location or department, while least privilege limits what each person can do based on their role. You know, they work together because they help you stay organized, they help you to avoid mistakes, they also help you to improve security. They also empower your teams without giving away too much control. And let's look at resources. Now, in the resources, we have Um, we have management of resources. We have, sorry, we have rooms and equipment. We have sites. I'm going to go straight forward to them now. Resources, mailbox. What does it mean? These are special email accounts for rooms or equipment. It's not to people. Widely useful. It helps staff to book things like meetings, rooms, projectors, or they can book company cars easily through their outlooks. Example, if you want to create a mailbox for conference room 3, now anyone can book it like sending a meeting invite. You don't need to ask around. So if you're using this, that is what happens in the managing rooms and equipment. We also have automated booking. Automated booking, some rooms of or equipment can be set to automatically accept bookings if they are available. It saves time. It avoids double booking. For instance, you can book for conference room 3 or 2 p.m. If it's free, system will auto accept your request, and it does not really need human approval. We also have SharePoints. SharePoint. Now, on the SharePoint, okay, on the SharePoint, like what we have here, you can create a SharePoint site. This is like your company's online file or file cabinet, or it can be like your intranet. Admins can assign owners to manage the site. They can set permissions, who can view, who can edit, who can share files. They can control storage limits so the site doesn't get too full. For example, if you can create a SharePoint site for an HR department, you make maybe blessing the owner, and then you allow only HR staff to access it and set the storage limit to maybe like 10 gig so it doesn't overflow. So let's look at another part. I said I'm going to try as much as I can to be fast. So I'm looking at marketplace now. Marketplace. Now, in the marketplace of Microsoft 365 Admin Center, this is where you provide access to Microsoft's and third-party applications to integrate with Microsoft environment. Microsoft also brings in third-party applications. So, but if you have to integrate, you do this in your marketplace. This is where billings and account integration is done. Applications are purchased from marketplace. Applications purchased from marketplace are billed directly to your Microsoft account for easy management. It also enhances productivity. Let's look at billing. Billing. In the billing, we have your products, we have licenses, we have bill payment, we have billing account, we have payment method, we have billing notification, we have cost management. I'm going to pump that all in because, like I said, I want to try to make this video as short as possible. You view all your plans and your renewal dates under your product section for easy management. You assign, you reclaim licenses as needed to optimize resources allocation and user access. This is done in license management. You can download invoices in the billing and payments. You can download the invoices for your records, keeping update payment methods to prevent service disruption. This can be done in billing and payment. You can also control billing notifications. You control who receives payments and the renewal emails to keep relevant parties all informed. All right, so the next thing we have here is support. Now, support is just one thing everybody needs. Now, help and support features is where you can search for answers or open your support tickets directly from the admin center for quick assistance. You can also do ticketing. You can view the status of your service requests. to stay informed about your issue and resolution and the progress. You can also approve or deny access requests when a mailbox needs to access your data or resolve issues. We have customer logbook requests. This is where you can approve or deny access requests when Microsoft needs to access your data to resolve issues. You can actually deny, you can also accept it, but this can be done on the customer logbook request. And then you have your Microsoft Surface support. This is where you manage warranty and support for Surface devices to ensure device assistance and maintenance. I will love to stop here today and not go too far. I want to thank you so much for joining us today in this Admin Center walkthrough series. Next time, we'll go a bit deeper to specific topics. I want you to do me a favor to like, to share, to comment, to ask your questions. And I will see you very, very soon. Once again, my name is Kufre Inyan, and I am glad that I was your anchor today. Remain blessed. I hope to see you again in the time not too long when we delve deep into more of Microsoft solutions. Have a good night. Rest.